Good morning, Year 3. Happy Monday and welcome to another instalment of your maths learning this week. Now, today we're going to be having a look at related facts. But before we get there, here is a starter for you. So if you can pause the video and have a go at doing these 4 questions, plus telling me what the time is, please. Okay, so this first question is a little bit of what we're going to come on to today. But if I know that 3 times 4 is 12, what is 30 times 40? You're still timesing it by 4, but instead of doing 3 times 4, we're doing 30 times 4. So it's going to be 10 times more. So it's not 12, but 120. What is 48 divided by 8? That is 6. Multiply 6 by 4 is 24. And find the sum of 179 and 241. Now, some of you may have done your column method for this. So 241, add, that's the sum, 149. Well, 1 add 9 is 10, so we've got 0 and then exchange the 10 ones. 4 tens add 7 tens is 11 tens, add the extra 10 is 12 tens. So 2 here and then exchange that 10 tens for 100. 200 add 100 is 300, add the extra 1 is 400. So the answer there is 420 and the time is 1:45. Okay, so we're going to be having a look at using related facts today. We need to be able to use our times table knowledge, and it's also having a look at being able to multiply by 10. Now, it might be a little bit tricky to start with, but this really helps you with your learning. It makes things a lot quicker if you can get to grips with it. So a few bits of key information for you. Known multiplication facts are facts that we have already know. For example, we know that 2 times 5 is 10. Related facts is using that original fact and then seeing which part has changed and being able to work out the answer because of those related, the bits that relate to each other. We should know what an array is by arranging a set of objects into rows and columns to see the multiplication sentences and the division sentences. The commutative law is knowing that we can do multiplication calculations no matter which way around. 2 times 6 or 6 times 2, they still equal 12. And our fact family is a collection of 4 facts that we use in the same numbers. This links nicely to your arrays and your commutative calculations. So let's have a look at this first question. Okay, so this is an array here. Now what I'd like you to do is to quickly pause the video and have a think about what is the multiplication and division sentence that we can get from this array. Okay, so the sentences that we can get is we're going to start with our multiplication. So how many columns have we got? We've got 3 columns with 3 in each column, which means we are doing 3 multiplied by 3, and in total we get 9. Now the division sentence is starting with the biggest number, so 9 things shared into either groups or rows. This time it doesn't matter. If we share them into 3 groups, we get 3 things in each. So these are our 2 sentences. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Here are some cookies this time. And this time we can get 2 multiplication sentences and 2 division sentences. Think about how many groups do we have, how many in each group for our multiplication, and then for our division, how many do we have in total, what happens if we group it, and what happens if we share it. Pause the video and see if you can tell me the 4 sentences in total. Okay, so if we start with our multiplication sentences, we have got 3 groups with 4 in each group. 3 groups of 4 equals 12. We have also got 4 things in each group multiplied by 3 groups equals 12. So they are our 2 multiplication sentences there. Now the division sentences, we need to think about how many we start with. Well, I start with 12 cookies and I'm either going to share them between 3 people and each people get 4 cookies, or I've got 12 people and I'm going to group them into groups of 4 and there are 3 groups in total. So they are the 2 ways of writing those sentences, and that is the 4 sentences that we can come up with from the cookies. Now we know 6 times 8 is 48, so pause the video and have a go at completing those sentences there. So we know 6 times 8 is 48. What 48 divided by what equals what? Pause the video and have a go. Okay, so if I've got 48 things, I can either put them into groups of 6 or groups of 8. 48 divided by 6 means that we've used the 6, so it's going to be have 8 in each group. Or we can have 48, share it between 8, and each person will get 6. So it's just about using those same numbers in different ways to learn all of those fact families and the different facts that you can get. So we need to complete the multiplication here. 2 multiplied by 4 ones equals how many ones? Well, 4 multiplied by 2 equals 8 ones. So 4 multiplied by 2 equals 8. This is going to help us to be able to figure out when it's a little bit different. So this time, if it's 2 multiplied by 4 tens, well, we can see here that we've still got 4 in this box and 4 in this box, but they're just in their tens now. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tens in total. So instead of 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 40 is 80. So hopefully that makes some sense, that you can just see that all we've done is, instead of using ones, we're using tens. So the answer is now going to be in tens rather than in ones. So we've got 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24 and 28. That's going up in which times table? The 4 times table. So this is if it was going up, instead of going up by 4 each time, going up by 40 each time. 40, 80, 120, 160, 200, 240, 280. We can see that we've still got the same main numbers, but we're now looking at tens, so we've got a 0 on the end of each one because we're making it 10 times bigger each time. And it's exactly the same here. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. What do you think it would be like if instead of going up by 3, we were going up by 30? So if we were going up by 30, we'd have 30, then 60. And if we look at the top here, then we're going to have 90. Then we've got 120. Then we've got 150, 180, and 210. And we've got some questions here. So 4 times 30 is 120. So we're doing the 4 times 3, which is 12, and then we've got it in the tens column, so it's 120. And the same here. 30 times 7, so instead of doing 3 times 7, which is 21, 30 times 7, 30 lots of 7, sorry, 7 lots of 30 is 210. Okay, we've got our array here, and what does the first bit say? So our first bit says we've got 8 times 3 ones, which is 24 ones. So 8 times 3 is 24. That is what this array is showing you. So our next question would be, instead of having, sorry, that's the other part of the, so this is the other way round, we could have it as well, thinking about our related facts. 3 times 8 ones is 24 ones, 3 times 8 is 24. If instead we had each counter being represented as 10, what kind of answers would we be coming up with? Well, instead of having 8 times 3 ones, we would be having 8 times 3 tens. Can you pause the video and can you work out for me, what is 8 times 3 tens? How many tens are we having in total? Okay, so 8 times 3 tens, 8 times 3 ones is 24 ones. So 8 times 3 tens is going to be 24 tens, which means 8 times 30 is 24 tens is 240. And then let's think about it the other way around. 3 times 8 tens is exactly the same, 24 tens, which means that 3 times 80 is 240. Okay, let's complete the division here. 12 shared between 2. So we need to count up in our 2's until we get to 12. The answer is 6. So if we had 120 shared between 2, have a look how similar these two bits are here. We have got 12 ones up here. Down here, we've got 12 tens. 12 tens shared between 2. I'm going to give you a clue. 6 ones shared between 2 was 6 ones. 12 tens shared between 2 is 6 tens, which is the same as 60. So hopefully you can see the pattern between those two things for those related facts. And what about this one? 16 shared between 2 is 8. 16 shared between 4 is 4. But if we have 160 shared between 2, we get 80. 16 ones shared between 2 is 8. 16 tens shared between 2 is 8 tens. And the same over here. 16 tens shared between 4 is 4 tens. Can you pause the video and have a chat to yourself, or if you've got your parents sitting next to you, what do you notice about the relationship between these two things, please? Okay, so hopefully you've seen the link that we are looking just at ones here, tens here. So we have to have, this is ones, but this is tens. So our answers will have that extra 0 on the end. Okay, so 90 has been made 10 times bigger than 9. So we know that the answer is going to also be 10 times bigger. So if we've got 9 times 3 is 27, we've made 9 10 times bigger to get to 90. We're still multiplying it by 3. Our answer needs to be 10 times bigger. Have a pause of the video here. See if you can work this out. Don't overcomplicate it. 9 has just got 10 times bigger. So 27 is going to get 10 times bigger as well. What will the answer be? Okay, so hopefully you've had a chance to think about that. 9 got 10 times bigger is 90. So 90 times 3, we need to make 27 10 times bigger. Our answer will be 270. We've got an extra, we're in the tens column here, so our answer needs to have the extra 0 on the end as well. Okay, let's have a look at this problem solving. So it says Moses has been learning about related facts. He says that 6 times 2 is 12, therefore 6 times 12 is 120. True or false? Pause the video, have a think and see if you can explain your answer as well, please. Okay, so Moses is saying that 6 ones times 2 ones is 120. So he's saying that 6 times 12 is 100. Sorry, he said that 6 times 2 is 12, therefore 6 times 12 is 120. Now, there is no related fact here. We haven't got bigger by 10 of either of these two things. We're not doing 60 times 2 or 6 times 20. So therefore, 6 times 12 is not just getting 10 times bigger. He's made a little bit of a mistake. So it is false because neither of the numbers are being multiplied by 10. Then the numbers are being multiplied in the first calculation. 12 is not 10 times bigger than 2. The mistake the person has probably made is they've added 10s. They think that that is exactly the same, but we know that it is not. Okay, so that was your lesson on related facts today. Just really try and break it down and think. If I know that 3 times 3 is 9, if I make one of those 10 times bigger, 30 times 3, then my answer needs to do the same as well. There is a quiz for you to complete on Teams today for your assignment. Give it your best shot. Please ask myself or Miss Coatman on Teams or Tapestry, or if you have your grown-up at home as well. Have a lovely day, guys, and I'll see you soon.